Hello everybody and welcome back to Minecraft in our survival single-player world. I am Malign Mysticality, and where we left off last time, we had been doing some AFKing at our brand new shulker farm. And it was a success. Well, mostly a success. I left myself in slightly the wrong spot and died once. I got all my stuff back. And I figured out that I needed to be kind of perfectly between the door and the wall and a whole thing. Anyways, we have 4 shulker boxes full of the materials we need to make 9 stacks of shulker boxes each, which is to say a lot of storage. So hypothetically, we should be good on storage for a while. Now, I've already got our redstone box out, because what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be returning to some of our prior projects, and we're going to be doing some upgrades to the storage. For example, our bamboo and sugarcane here. On the bamboo side, we're going to install an auto-crafter to auto-craft into blocks. We're going to install storage for both bamboo and bamboo blocks, and then we're going to have shulker box loaders so that we can hypothetically get much larger mass storage as it fills up. Off this side for the sugarcane, we're going to do something similar. We're going to have a spot for regular sugarcane, for sugar, and for paper, which will also have bulk storage and shulker box loaders if we choose to use it. And then we're going to do the same thing for the mob farm, for the witch farm. We're going to build shulker box loaders because that's already filtered by our lovely copper golems. The iron golem that I had missed over there last time I got. We're going to get this guy real quick. They never stop spawning. Oh, he's trapped too. How unfortunate for him. But not unfortunate for us. It is, in fact, more free iron. Not that we really need it. The iron farm's doing fine. Speaking of which, the iron farm is also going to get a storage upgrade. So, that's what we're going to do today. Man, this place just breeds them. What is going on? Oh, I'm out of arrows. Fine. Got him. Anyways, we are going to do a bunch of storage upgrades today. Kind of a little bit of a cleanup project as well at some of these project sites. And then, if we have the time, we might get into something else. But I think that's going to be most of what we do today. So, I'm going to do a little more prep, get my inventory cleaned up, and get ready to work on this stuff, and I will see you guys in just a couple minutes. Alright, well, I have taken a look at this thing, and I've realized I have not left myself the space I would need to add shulker box loaders to this. I pretty much filled up everything under the sugarcane and bamboo with the melon and pumpkin, and then off the back I added the cactus. So, unfortunately, I don't really have the space to add shulker box loaders to this. That said, this is just kind of the starter version of these farms. I'm going to build a much more efficient, larger version of each later elsewhere. This was just so that we could have easy production in kind of our starter village area. So, I think we're just going to leave this alone, sort of a historical landmark. But I do have plenty of space underneath the general purpose mob farm and also at the witch farm. And the iron farm is underground. That one should also be no problem. I'll just have to kind of shift around some stuff. So, we're going to pick up at those. This one we're going to leave be with just its chest buffer storage here. Which? The sugarcane is actually pretty full, so that's good news. And we will, yeah, at some point in the future we'll have a much larger farm for this stuff, but this is gonna be fine how it is for now. So, I will meet you guys over at one of the other farms, and we will get progress started over there. Alright, guys, little update here at the mob farm. I've taken all of the materials out of the farm and have kind of sorted them. Obviously, there's not a lot of this because rotten flesh I don't really intend to keep a lot of. Most of it I've honestly just been throwing into the water every time I come here to pick stuff up. So we'll probably keep a single double chest of rotten flesh and then have the rest of it just ejected onto a cactus or something just to destroy it. We'll come back to that. There's not a whole lot of use for it without cleric villagers to buy it, or, I mean, you can use it to feed your dogs to heal them, I guess, but it's, yeah, questionable at very best. So, for now, with all of that cleared out of here, my next step is to clear out a little passage back in here, where we're going to have our filters kind of running along into the individual item spaces, and then I'm not going to build a whole complicated shulker loader system. Basically what I'm going to do is under each one there's just going to be an extra hopper to where when I come here to AFK I can just line up my shulker boxes to fill up, and then as the storage buffer fills, it'll fill the shulker boxes and then everything above it. So pretty straightforward, I think, and yeah. I'm going to start digging this thing out, and I'll bring you guys back in once we are getting item filters in place. Alright, guys, so we are marking in the space here. It kind of punches into the space where we used all of our levers to power the rails up above, but, you know, it's fine. We're just using the classic Impulse SV style item filters. Nothing fancy, nothing groundbreaking or anything like that. We're just keeping it simple and functional, because that's all we need. You know, I should probably do this so that I can there, and there. Perfect. I may have done this one deeper than I wanted to. Oh no, yeah, this works perfectly. I don't know what I'm talking about. As much as I like to pretend, I have no idea what I'm doing. Alright. And then, hypothetically, we should be all set. Yep. Perfect. So, we can start grabbing... It's loud up there. It's loud down here, too. We can start grabbing items and filling in these filters. And then we'll have our chests coming forward. I'll have to rework the stairs coming in, but I've been needing to do that for a while anyways. Because I want to have 3 or 4 chests for each item buffered down, and then off the bottom chest we're just going to have an extra hopper that we're going to use to fill our shulker boxes while we're here at the farm. So, I'm going to fill in our filters, and I'll bring you guys back in just another minute or two for another update. Alright, so we've got our filters in. This last chest is the sort of catch-all for, like, witch drops, or you'll get the occasional chicken jockey, so there'll be, you know, chicken, sugar, stuff like that will wind up in here. Sticks from the witches, glass bottles. And then every other item, the filters are in place and working. And then we've added this little section off of the rotten flesh, which basically, once this chest is completely full, it will start to open up this hopper to allow it to put items into this dropper, which drop rotten flesh onto this cactus and get rid of it forever. So, we'll have, technically, this full chest, this full hopper, and this full hopper, if we ever do need rotten flesh, but the odds of that are incredibly slim, so we're going to keep it to a bare minimum. I'm going to take the rest of these and expand them down a couple of chests, kind of zigzagging back and forth, so that we can have a pretty large buffer of each item. And then once that's done, we'll work out the staircase into here and get everything cleaned up. Ooh, look at that night sky, though. Isn't that just lovely? So, I'm going to run through kind of the remainder of the cleanup here, and I'll bring you back in when we are ready to head on to the next thing. Alright guys, we've got a new staircase cut in. We've decorated this just a little bit. It's just some dark oak and polished andesite. All of our items have been moved back into storage here. So, we have a pretty good gauge of what we're running a little bit low on. And then overflow, of course, is all of the things that this farm can produce but won't produce super frequently. All of your witch drops, the chicken. It'll appear in the farm, but it's not going to be super common. And then we have a little section here where we can put in each of our shulker boxes, and I probably should have put these facing up so I could check them, but yeah, these are all full. So, just gonna line that. I might put something under there, but anyways, it's a lot cleaner and nicer than it was before, and it is fully functional, fully filtered, and fully able to restock our shulker boxes whenever we AFK here, or even just passing by if we just want to stop for a couple minutes, toss our boxes down. Does a great job. And it looks a lot cleaner, which is the other big thing. I've still got to grab some extra shulker boxes so I can clear out all of this stuff and take it to our main storage and then sort it and process it from there, but I think I'm happy with the progress here. So, next stop is the witch farm. I'll go ahead and fly out that way, and I will meet you over there. Alright, guys. We are back at the witch farm. I took a brief little intermission. I used the witch farm to fix up our elytra, and I also ran back to the greenhouse and grabbed some beeswax so that I could wax these guys and prevent them from oxidizing. So, what we're going to have to do here is a little more complicated than the last one, because we have to travel down by way of water, and I'm talking here. Anyways, we got to drop down with a water column and build another platform underneath. So, I should have plenty of building materials here to do that with. Yeah, I've got plenty of stuff here. So, I'm going to get a platform in place. The redstone blocks I'd like to put an autocrafter on. Everything else, I think we're just gonna let move through the system automatically. So it's just these that I really want to craft up. Speaking of crafting, do I have crafters already in my redstone box? I do! Perfect. That's exactly what I need. Alright, so, I don't know why I'm grabbing this stuff yet. It's not time for that. I'm gonna use my water bucket here. I'm gonna build out a little platform underneath to expand storage, and I will be right back. Well, guys, here we are. We've got filtration set up. Now, what we're doing is we're using the Impulse SV type hopper filters. But what we're doing is we're using, rather than a hopper as the point that we're filtering, we've already got the items filtered. This is more just to create a delay, so we're holding a set amount of each item in each chest. Once it exceeds a certain point, then it will allow items to move down into the lower buffer chests. And then with the redstone, we're running it through an auto crafter here, which will craft and then put it into its bulk chests down here as well. So I moved down everything that was beyond the initial amount. Did I connect this all correctly? Hold on. Oh, that's right, that one's witch heads. That's not gonna have anything. It's all still flowing down through here, but as you can hear, while I've been working, I've had the farm blocked off, and it's, well, it's collected some witches. So we're gonna give this its first true test. I'm gonna turn mob sounds down before we do this, because otherwise it's gonna be loud. So let's drop this to, I don't know, let's say 3%. Should be good enough. Grab our lovely, lovely netherite sword. And we're just gonna make sure that we don't overflow this thing with looting. I also haven't really tested the auto crafter yet, so it could be a failure point. Shouldn't be, though. They're pretty straightforward. These guys have been here long enough. They should also drop water-breathing potions, which is great. And repair all of our stuff for us. And whatever we picked up, we'll just toss in there to go back through the system. So, it's going to take a minute for it all to build up to the buffer point. But I think redstone will be the most likely thing to do it first. So. I am going to hang out here for a minute, make sure that everything works as intended. Actually, you know what? Let's fast forward this process so you guys can see it too. Let's go ahead and... I can't do it with redstone because that's already being turned into dust, but I can probably do it with glowstone. We're just gonna kinda add extra to the system until something happens. We're still on 1. Might actually hold a larger buffer than I thought. I kinda underestimated, I think. Which is fine. Let's just do that. And then we'll add 1 stack at a time until we see for sure that items are going through and working correctly. Okay, that got us up to 2. Oh, and that started going. Okay, so... looks like the buffer is almost 8 stacks. So anything that I put in beyond that, it should filter down and back through. Okay, perfect. Redstone is to 2. It's not quite there yet. We're gonna kind of forward this as well. Let's just take like half a stack of that. I just want to make sure that the auto crafter is working and everything is doing as it should. Let's see. And we'll go until it starts to subtract. And... yeah, working. Perfect. Alright, so... that is... our witch farm... and our... oh, yeah. Monsters nearby. Turns out, with their noises all the way down, it's a little harder to tell. Anyways. With that, though, I think that I'm going to end the episode. I'll probably do the iron farm between episodes and just show you the updated progress on that. But these were the big ones. Being able to get the auto crafter in, being able to get the expanded storage going for all of this. I know that having 3 chests worth of witch head buffer is, well, significant overkill, but for the rest of it, it definitely makes sense, especially the potions. Those stack up quick. And they're one of the biggest things that we wanted this farm for. It's the potions and the redstone that we really want a lot of. Glowstone, there's a couple other ways we can get, but I'm glad we have it here. This is far less efficient for gunpowder than our regular mob farm, but it does provide more than I was expecting. But yeah, most of this stuff we don't care super too much about. Eventually I will be building a potion lab, so having all of the potion bottles and spider eye and stuff will be super helpful then, though. So, with that said, and that update done, guys, I think this is where we're going to call it for the episode. Thanks so much for coming along on the adventure. If you're enjoying what I'm doing, I've got playlists on the channel for Minecraft as well as for all of the other games that we play. If you guys have anything that you want to see coming up in the series, I've got some ideas for some, larger builds that I'm trying to get infrastructure in place for. But if there's anything specific that you would like to see, let me know in the comments. Other than that, yeah, I'm just glad you came along, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.